think I want to bring this up because you brought it up to me. I was going to try to avoid it, but your favorite GM in all of baseball, Rick Hahn, on yet another holiday, Juneteenth, talked with the press. Again, these just happen
Only
to
on
be
holidays.
they just lining up that way because it's when the Sox return home. Apparently, they're only returning home on holidays as of late. But
I guess.
he spoke to the press, and you thought some of the things he said were a little bit interesting or
Uh, he
debatable.
he attacked the credibility of national baseball journalists. Essentially, he wouldn't name names, but it was clearly he was talking about John Heyman.
Well,
Who,
which I will agree with him on that.
you and I have
on,
attacked his credibility
on
as
John
well. But
Heyman's credibility.
Rick Hahn actually said he was pissed off about a radio interview. He wouldn't even name the station. Of course, it was 670 The Score. And I
Yeah,
was
I don't think he's
listening to it.
friendly with those guys at this
I
point.
guess not. He won't even say their fucking name. But I was listening to the interview at the time. Uh, John Heyman was asked by Mully uh, whether he
Grafal
thought
was.
Grafal's job could be in jeopardy. And he's like, yeah, it could be. You know, if things don't turn around, he could be one and done. And that irked Rick Hahn to the degree where he had to address the media and attack his credibility essentially. And I don't think it's anything. I mean, you and I rip on John Heyman and certainly Bob Nightingale all the time, but it was an opinion. I mean,
Yeah,
it's very possible. I think it's a plausible opinion that Grafal could feel the wrath of Hahn eventually. That he might be the scapegoat for this season. I don't think it's out of the
yeah,
realm of possibility, and that literally pissed off Rick Hahn, and he didn't want that out there. He was defending his manager is more of what he was really trying to do, trying to squash any rumors that Grafal would be fired at any point. Or I just thought it was a really immature way to go about things, just to attack the media, and especially even if it could be justified in many cases, but in this case, it just wasn't. It was just he was asked a question, he put it out there, he gave his honest opinion, and it was a reasonable opinion. And Rick Hahn couldn't take it. He used it as a platform to beat up on the national media. He also said, you know, anyone that's not here every day doesn't really. That's essentially how he attacked
yeah,
his
right.
credibility. Someone that's not here every day doesn't really know what's going on. The irony is conversation Hahn framed around the unemployment now, the firing of James Fegan, beat reporter for The Athletic, who was part of large layoffs at your and I's favorite sports publication, The Athletic.
Yeah.
The White Sox no longer have a beat reporter from The Athletic, and James Fegan is clearly revered amongst his peers. He's been on the radio a couple times. There's been all sorts of articles written about it. I don't remember a journalist of any sort being talked about so much,
I know.
so outraged from his peers that he was let go. I didn't read him a whole lot. I'm sure I read him a little bit. I'm sure you read him a whole lot more than I have. But
I have.
from everything I've seen and heard, he's obviously a remarkable writer. Started out as a blogger, kind of like you and me, but with talent, and then worked his way all the way up into The Athletic and into his dream job. And now he's been let go. So that, the more that happens in this changing sports media landscape, the fewer local journalists you're going to have. So, on one hand, Rick Hahn is attacking the national journalists, but that's literally all we're going to have eventually if these things keep playing out the way they are. There's the ESPN 1000 that I used to listen to a lot there in Chicago.
Yeah.
They didn't have a beat reporter for the White Sox for years. I think they let Jesse Rogers split time now, but I think he spends more time with the Cubs potentially. But there's less and less media around the White Sox altogether, and I think that might be what Rick Hahn is going for. He doesn't want anybody around to get stories out there that he doesn't like, or get ideas out there that he doesn't like. And when you attack journalists directly, I think it's a dangerous thing. And you and I do it. It has no consequence because we have no pull. But when a general manager of a Major League Baseball club is attacking the media, I think it's a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous precedent. I don't like, and especially his disingenuous way for him to frame it around the firing of James Fegan, I think is doubly appalling in a way. So nowhere near. I'm not going to call Rick an asshole, but I was surprised that was the first thing we've heard him say in several weeks, as he doesn't like to talk to the media at all. Now he's just attacking it.
Yeah, I mean, I won't ever blame someone for saying Heyman's a sensationalist or something like that, but you're 100% right. It was just misdirected this time because
Yeah,
he was asked a question. He didn't say, I heard from within the organization. That's a Bob Nightingale
that's what
move.
Bob Nightingale does
Yeah,
constantly, and
yeah.
but
He didn't say that. He said, well, yeah, of course he could be fired. Someone's probably going to be the scapegoat for this mess, and managers are the scapegoat a lot. But it's like, yeah, I mean, there's you know what it is though? It's a great tactic, an unexpected. He threw that out there in an unexpected manner. It, I think it was his way of trying to get everyone unfocused on all the hard questions he was supposed to be being
that's
asked. Not
exactly,
there.
yeah, that's a great point.
Misdirection, little misdirection, a slurve, maybe a fosh, and then he escapes. He's whatever amount of
That's
time.
the story now, and
Yeah,
there's
that's the
nothing else.
story.
Yeah,
He's also used whatever chunk of time that he sits out there for. He's used like 3 to 5 minutes of it by going on some diatribe. So now
yeah,
he has to he can walk away after his 10 minutes, and half of it was taken up by nonsense,
yeah.
basically.
Well, and
So
framing it around Fegan is what
yeah.
really gets me. So, and he grabbed all of their attentions because all those guys sitting there in the local media are friends of Fegan. So, they saw exactly what was going on, I think. But you're right. That's the story now. You and I are talking about it. That's all anybody could talk about is what Rick Hahn was saying today. So I don't know. Like I said, you guys are always the most entertaining team in baseball, no matter what's going on.
Word Hole Media.